A night unlike any other, or so I believed. Father, this is my inaugural experience, and the weight of your pencil feels immense in my hold. Greetings, I am Nora, a spirited 18-year-old eager to set forth on new adventures. The adventures of my life have unfolded in a tranquil and unassuming manner, just my father and I have been navigating life together ever since that fateful day when my mother disappeared from our lives. She vanished, slipping away like a whisper in the wind, leaving behind only hollow echoes that my father and I could barely grasp. Desperately infused with warmth and care, from the very beginning we were intertwined, two vessels daring to navigate the tempestuous waves guiding one another through the tumult of the storm. Just a few months ago, I set forth on a journey into the vast unknown of university life, a monumental shift for someone who had always found solace in the familiar embrace of our small sheltered world enveloped us, the atmosphere crackling with energy as lectures unfolded, each one the entrance to fresh concepts merges into a fabric of strangeness. Each interaction offered an opportunity to create bonds. The hallways pulsed with vitality, a ceaseless stream of activity that, pulsing with anticipation, a rush of excitement coursed through me, mingling with a sense of foreboding. My dad beamed. With pride, I could feel the heavy burden of solitude enveloping him each time I crossed the threshold of his door. A radiant smile would illuminate my existence, dispelling the shadows that linger throughout the day. Yet, university life swiftly evolved into a consuming whirlwind. It all commenced with a flicker of curiosity that ignited within me, drawing me into the vibrant world of parties. The atmosphere enveloped me, a stark contrast to everything I had ever known faded away as the music pulsed like a heartbeat, overwhelming all other sounds, while unfamiliar faces danced in and out of view, in and out of focus, each one a mystery waiting to be unraveled. An exhilarating freedom hung in the atmosphere, charging each breath with intensity, sparking a flame that transcends into an entirely new realm of existence unfurled before me. A reality I had never dared to envision as I faltered. Returning from one of my initial gatherings, the city was enveloped in an unsettling stillness. Returning home later than usual, the night enveloped the world in shadows, and in the soft glow of the kitchen, my dad sat silently, cradling a steaming cup of his gaze fixed on the door. Anticipation hung in the air as he awaited my arrival. His expression held there was a gentle softness, yet an undercurrent of worry pulsed just beneath the surface. The party unfolded like a tempest of exhilaration and vitality, brimming with laughter and lively dialogues that resonated throughout the space. Throughout the night, he inquired, his voice imbued with an air of nonchalance. A thrill coursed through me as I responded. By sidestepping the details that might unravel the mystery, he nodded, and an oppressive silence enveloped the space. A peculiar tension enveloped us, dense and tangible, yet I resolved to set it aside. As I ventured into the evening air, a familiar unease enveloped me, overshadowing the weight of unspoken words. Over me as if he believed the outside world possessed the ability to transform me eternally. The evening unfurled like any other. An unseen tension lingered in the air, hinting at the extraordinary to come. As the air filled with vibrant melodies, bodies swayed rhythmically and a cocktail sparkled enticingly in my hand, yet this time I surrendered to the depths of my desires, the intoxicating allure enveloping me. The warmth of the alcohol coursed through my veins, igniting a daring spark within me. With each sip, I felt an exhilarating rush. Ease washed over me as if the entire world yielded to the charm of my smile. It was well past midnight when I returned, the weight of the night's events lingering heavily in my mind. The door stood ajar. A familiar invitation that whispered of my father's presence, always waiting for me on the other side. He sat in the living room, the flickering light of the lamp cast shadows that danced across his features as he focused intently on. Even at this late hour, my dad, with his laptop open, radiated a sense of calm assurance. From the instant I crossed the threshold, an unsettling sensation enveloped me. His presence was unwavering and strong. The breadth of his shoulders and the tone of his physique conveyed a silent strength. Volumes, while the tattoos that peeked out from beneath his shirt sleeve suggested a narrative of commitment and resilience stands as a testament to his unwavering commitment to remaining in peak form. His thick, dark hair was meticulously styled, with a few streaks of gray that only heightened his charm, accompanied by a soft exhale. I entered the room, my footsteps whispering against the floor as I approached. My fingers reached out, lightly brushing against his shoulders from behind. A sudden gasp escaped me as a chill filled the air, sending shivers down my spine. Shivers cascade down your spine as the unexpected sound reverberates through the darkness, a playful whisper of the unknown. An unsettling whisper that calls you to peer deeper into what hides in the darkness. The excitement of the undiscovered lingers, compelling you to unveil the enigma that lies ahead, I gasped, barely containing a laugh that bubbled up inside me. My dad jolted for a moment, then erupted into laughter, leaning in just a bit, that familiar gesture of his whenever it felt genuine. Amusement took hold. "Zara, what are you doing right now?" he inquired, his senses igniting as the intoxicating aroma of my perfume mingled with the lingering trace of alcohol on my skin. I embrace every moment with fervor. A soft giggle escaped my lips as a wave of dizziness enveloped me, pulling me into its embrace. He rose from his chair, a deliberate movement, drawing me into its intoxicating embrace. His gaze captured mine as he turned to face me, his hands finding their way to my shoulders, a touch that was both gentle. His touch was resolute, radiating warmth and steadiness, a silent promise that his hands were meant to shield me from all that posed a threat. His eyes sparkled with tenderness, yet in a heartbeat, I perceived a disquieting change lurking just below the surface, an odd event that the comforting familiarity of his presence evoked. The clarity in my mind, coupled with his smile, pulled me from the haze I had been lost in. The sight before me compelled me to stop and reflect. Laughter faded into stillness as I tilted my head back, locking eyes with him in a moment thick with unspoken tension. Tension that appeared to hold a universe of meaning, a tender embrace brimming with affection and a delicate undercurrent of disappointment lingered, yet beneath the surface, another layer stirred, startling me. Instinctively recoiled, a nervous laugh escaping my lips in a desperate attempt to ease the tension that lingered in the "Your demeanor is always so wonderful. Just take a moment to relax," I encouraged, gesturing gently. With a dismissive air, I strode towards my room, the door creaking softly in my wake. Yet, once the door clicked shut, I found myself collapsing in a heap onto my bed, time slipping away as I lay there, lost in my thoughts for what felt like an eternity. An emotion gripped me at my very essence, resisting any attempt at explanation. His voice remained unwavering and resolute, sliced through the haze of my thoughts. "Nora, it's time for you to step into the shower. You need to freshen up," he said, tilting his head slightly. His voice carried an urgency that lingered in the air. I nodded, my gaze drifting over his powerful arms, taut and defined, crossed over his chest as if they concealed mysteries I was hesitant to unveil. My heart raced uncontrollably his care had always appeared to rise above simple duty, yet now an unsettling shift lingered in the air as I made my way to the toilet, the door looming ahead, left ajar behind me, a silent invitation to the unknown. It felt instinctive, as though it were intricately woven into the very fabric of our existence. Our bond was forged in unwavering trust, a silent promise that had never faltered. I turned on the water, allowing the hot stream to warmth cascades over me, intertwining with the tumult of emotions swirling in my mind as the soothing water flows down. My thoughts wandered to him, adrift in a vast ocean of memories and feelings. His hands, once a potent embrace that enveloped me just moments ago, now resides in my recollection as a moment I never anticipated. His smile penetrated the very depths of my soul. Each droplet of water that caressed my skin seemed to resonate with his essence, as though his touch lingered, weaving through the very fabric of my being. As I stepped into the stream, the cool water embraced me, its weight bearing down on my neck and shoulders, drawing me further into its depths. Into its embrace, my mind raced, ensnared by the intensity of his presence. His image consumed my thoughts, permeating every fiber of my being. Immersed in the sensation of the water, captivated by the rhythmic sound of its tumbling flow down, wrapping around me in its tender embrace, yet his smile and voice remained vibrant for eternity. Etched in the depths of my mind, a sudden flicker from the periphery of my vision. A flicker of movement captured my attention through the narrow crack of the door. I caught a glimpse of my father, his gaze fixed intently. Anchored in place, a quiet watcher cloaked in darkness, his eyes radiated a gentle fervor. Keen and perceptive, a subtle smile played upon his lips, as though he were adrift in the enigma of his circumstances enveloped me, and as my heart stilled within my chest, I inhaled quietly, savoring the weight of the moment. Instinctively merging with the shadows, the water flowed over my skin, each drop a whisper of nature's embrace. A droplet, reminiscent of a gentle caress, infused with the warmth of his gaze, transforming the mundane into something extraordinary. Extraordinary memories surged forth, recalling how we could weave entire worlds together with nothing more than a single. His smile radiates a gentle warmth, a memory that has lingered since my childhood. He leaned in close, his voice a playful whisper. "Nora, you're my favorite person in the world." The entire world seemed to fade away, his eyes glinting with playful mischief as he eagerly anticipated my response. "And in that moment, you were entirely mine." For years, he consistently carved out time for us, weaving moments that echoed with meaning as we often wandered through, embracing the unforeseen in quietude. The park, fingers intertwined, we navigated its winding paths as if we could prepare. We found solace in one another, shielding ourselves from the tumult that existed beyond our tranquil refuge. Those strolls became the pinnacle of my days. We often found ourselves lingering at the charming little ice cream shop named Chocolate, where he would declare with a grin spreading across his face, highlighting the charming dimple nestled in his cheek. Chocolate was my unwavering choice, a quiet ritual that bound us together in unspoken understanding. As the sun blazed overhead, my ice cream began its slow plunging into a pool of sweetness that trickled through my fingers. He let out a chuckle. Gently, a soothing melody enveloped me, akin to a tender hug as he softly cleared the sticky remnants with a serviette, his touch both tender and he consistently chose silence regarding my mother, even after she disappeared from our lives in that moment, offering a sense of reassurance. He summoned every ounce of strength within him to utter the words she had simply chosen a different life that didn't reduce your importance in her existence. Yet beneath the surface, I recognized that the words were merely a mask. His gaze changed at the simple utterance of her name, a glimmer of sorrow concealed beneath a meticulously constructed exterior, all designed to protect. From the tempest inside me, my mother emerged as a shadow, a transient presence that slipped away, leaving us enveloped in the shadows of her absence. It was beyond my understanding how she could abandon a man who represented the quintessential nature of an exceptional father. As the days morphed into weeks, my resentment towards her simmered and intensified, yet he remained a constant presence, never once igniting the flames within me. Instead of, through the harsh lessons he imparted, he bestowed the profound gift of kindness, even amidst the deep scars carved deep within his own heart, a truth he labored endlessly to hide. He sought to unveil to me the genuine essence of love lingered, even when his own spirit had so little left to give. As I explored those memories, confronting my thoughts prior to speaking, a profound realization enveloped me. He had intricately entwined himself within the very essence of my existence, his kindness emanating like a warm glow. His smile, like a beacon, ignited warmth in my heart, and the love he poured into my life became the very bedrock upon which everything else was built, upon which I constructed my being. Water flowed over my skin, each droplet a reminder of the moment as the warmth of realization permeated my awareness, kindling a flame within my father, hovered near his face, marked by a quiet remorse for encroaching upon such a profoundly intimate moment unfolded, yet his gaze held steadfast, a tide of discomfort washing over the scene, washed over me, yet I managed to speak with an unsettling calmness. "Come in." With a deep breath, he paused at the threshold of the bathroom, uncertainty swirling in his mind as his eyes darted towards me for a brief instant, only to swiftly avert his eyes as he extended his hand towards the chair beside him. Hand closed around a towel as he remarked, "You're soaked. Allow me to assist you." His voice resonated with an unwavering familiarity, yet beneath its calm facade, I sensed a delicate quiver of disquiet that sent a chill racing down my spine. He advanced with a deliberation that implied he was wary of any abrupt action that could disrupt the delicate instant shared between them. As he started to dry me with the towel, an electric tension enveloped the air. He started at my shoulders and arms, his hands moving with intention downwards, each touch sparking a tension that crackled in the air. In the air, his touch lingered like a haunting echo of the past, imbued with an enigmatic quality. Freshness that slipped through my fingers as I beheld his face, the defined angles of his cheekbones and the unmistakable the strength of his jaw captivated me, awakening a sensation deep within that I had never felt before with each movement he made. The act was deliberate and gentle, and as he drew nearer to erase the droplets on my neck, I could feel the heat of his breath enveloping me. A surge of emotion engulfed me, as if we had, initiating a dialogue we both required, ventured into a realm where the essence of existence disintegrated, forsaking the known and the. In the midst of the ordinary, I came to a profound realization. I had been clinging to emotions that could no longer be dismissed. This moment enveloped me, a wave of intensity that was impossible to overlook. As I grappled with my thoughts, I discovered an undeniable pull towards him, a realization dawning that my emotions had transformed, and I found myself confronted with feelings I had not anticipated, his muscles defined and taut beneath the fabric of his. The t-shirt caught my eye, while the subtle tattoos peeking from his sleeves seemed to whisper secrets of untold stories. I had always been fit, yet until this moment, I had never summoned the courage to view him through this fresh perspective. My heartbeat raced like a frantic drum, resonating in the stillness, and I was certain he could sense its cadence thrumming through the atmosphere in that ephemeral moment. In that moment, he remained still, the towel gripped firmly in his hand, his gaze fixed upon me with a fervor that coursed through my veins, igniting a thrill of danger it was illicit, a dark line that whispered of peril and enchantment. In that ephemeral instant it appeared as though the very essence of reality had come undone, discarding all its familiar laws, leaving behind a sense of solace. His presence enveloped the room, and in that instant, I sensed the gravity of all that had transpired to bring us here. As I wrapped the towel around my hair, I felt the tension that had coiled tightly within me slowly begin to unravel. Each gentle stroke released the weight of the world as his hands softly massaged my scalp, offering the comfort I so desperately sought. In that moment, water dripped steadily from the tips of my hair, each drop serving as a poignant reminder of There was a palpable tension in the air, each movement of his hands carried a weight, as if he aimed to elongate this moment into infinity. Savoring the gravity of our mutual stillness as his fingers brushed against the tender skin of my neck, an electric warmth surged within me, igniting every fiber of my being, releasing the tension that had settled in my shoulders. Engaging in active listening free from preconceptions, dissolved each muscle, yielding to the intoxicating warmth of his caress. The bathroom, drenched in a gentle glow, felt as if it had transformed into a wholly distinct domain, shrouded, restricted, and separated from the outside world. Beyond the question of, is that an improvement? He whispered, his voice barely a breath, yet it hovered in the atmosphere, enticingly close. I acquiesced, my eyes tightly shut, yielding to the moment. As my breathing found its rhythm, my heart persisted in its wild race, mirroring the frantic flutter of a tiny bee. Confined within a transparent vessel, every subtle shift he made conveyed a profound narrative, expressing emotions that went beyond the surface. Concern washed over me as I sensed the way his hands lingered, a brief hesitation before they resumed their motion. "You need to rest," he murmured. After a moment, I draped the towel over my shoulders with a gentle touch. Slowly, I opened my eyes, my gaze locking onto him. The world around us blurred into obscurity, his face emerged close, and his gaze penetrated deep within me, claiming my. In a fleeting moment, he inhaled deeply, his lips curling into a smile, a delicate crease forming on his cheeks, whispering of hidden secrets. Concealed within his heart, a smile that had once enveloped me in warmth now sparked the flicker of something profound, an undeniable force that beckoned me to confront it. That moment lingered in the air, ethereal and surreal, yet forever imprinted in my mind. We were so intimately connected that I could sense the gentle warmth of his steady breaths mingling with the soft, rhythmic drip of water cascading from my thoughts swirled chaotically, cascading like the water that gathered around our feet. Time hung in the air, crafting a sphere that embraced solely the two of us in this personal. In that moment, as our eyes met, I felt a change in his demeanor, something strange and charged coursing between us. Between us lay a revelation that had slipped past my consciousness, or perhaps I had merely selected to overlook it until this moment. It surpassed simple affection or concern. It became a force of greater intensity, an unyielding current that, seeking clarity on the grand scheme, broken through the barriers I had carefully built in my mind. It was unfathomable to ascertain who had dared to cross the line first. Was it my fault, or was it simply destined to unfold this way? I leaned forward, my heart raced wildly in my chest, overwhelmed by the surge of emotions I had long suppressed. For a fleeting moment I thought he might escape, yet he stood resolute. His presence was a steadying force, and I found myself irresistibly drawn to seek comfort in his support, igniting a spark within me. In that moment of anticipation, he responded to my kiss with a gentle yet resolute touch, a silent promise that resonated with his own emotions within the core of our bond. Everything around us faded away, leaving only the vivid echoes of reality. Nothingness reigns as rules have faded, restrictions dissolved into the ether, leaving only the intoxicating embrace of an all-encompassing feeling that enveloped us like the gentle steam ascending into the atmosphere. My heart swelled with an unfamiliar force, a sensation both potent and inescapable. His warmth and touch wrapped around me, merging with my core as naturally as the beat of. As we parted, my breath caught in my throat. I glimpsed his gaze, now sharpened, revealing a secret he had likely kept hidden away until now. "Alina," he murmured, his voice gravelly, yet imbued with a tenderness that cut through the atmosphere, heralding that nothing between us would ever revert to what it once was. His hands gripped my waist with an intensity that ignited a surge of heat coursing through me, clearing away any remaining doubt regarding the significance of this instant. The tumult of inebriation that had consumed me just an hour ago seemed like a distant memory. Now, I found myself in a realm unlike any other, each touch synchronized with his heartbeat, igniting a deeper bond that pulsed. As I looked into his eyes, all uncertainty faded away, leaving only a steadfast determination, a candid conversation that transformed our relationship. In its wake, the emotions I had battled to suppress surged forth, the turmoil I had confined now surged forth with an unstoppable force. He sensed it as well, his eyes held. A tempest of emotions raged within him, a storm that stirred as his fingers trembled ever so slightly. Thus, with a hint of stubbornness, holding on to the moment, reluctant to escape the haze. The effects of alcohol had finally dissipated, yet a different, more potent intoxication now surged through his veins. An intoxicating, all-consuming fervor engulfed us entirely. My breath quickened. Each inhale carried a blend of anticipation and fear as he pulled me closer. "Do you truly believe that?" he asked softly, his voice barely above a whisper, laced with caution, as if he were afraid to shatter the delicate peace that surrounded them, that enveloped them. I nodded. Still, the weight of my silence lingered like a chasm. Between us lay a barrier that seemed insurmountable. As my hand rested on his chest, I could sense the relentless rhythm pulsing beneath the surface. Barely escaping my lips, his hand glided upward, exploring the contours of my sides, yet his touch was tender, as though he feared I might vanish like the morning light. Amidst the fog, I discovered myself standing there, fully present. Every fiber of my being was immersed, ignited in this fleeting moment as the water poured, relentlessly enveloped us as he lifted me from the depths of the bathroom, the air beyond encircling us like a chilling embrace. Yet every fiber of my being was enveloped by him with each quiet stride he took. With intent guiding me towards the sanctuary of his room, a tenderness enveloped us, feeling almost sacred as he laid me down. The bed, each movement deliberate and unhurried, as if honoring a profound ritual. His hand glided softly along my, exploring one another through transparency. His face hovered near my chin as he leaned in closer, locking his gaze with mine. "Nora," he murmured, his voice rich with emotion, enveloping her like a warm embrace. I felt an intense emotional tug to remain near, the weight of separation too daunting to bear at that moment. In that moment, nothing tethered us to the past. We fused into a singular entity, bound by an unbreakable force. An unspoken understanding that transcended mere passion, revealing the presence of an extraordinary bond that had quietly endured. In the shadows that lingered between us, the room was thick with silence. The breath we took echoed in the stillness, as soft light seeped through the curtains, enveloping us in a warmth that seemed to isolated from the vast expanse that stretched beyond the shut door. He leaned closer, his breath a mere whisper against my skin, his touch that was both assertive and tender, as if he were etching every curve of my body into his memory. Every gentle caress ignited a flame's dance within, sending ripples of warmth coursing through my very essence. My heart pounded fiercely in my chest, a relentless drumbeat that felt as if it resonated in the stillness that enveloped us, yet his eyes remained fixed, lacking any sense of haste, filled with a quiet intensity. Instead, with a boundless tenderness that appeared to transcend time itself, his gaze penetrated through me, leaving me feeling utterly vulnerable, laid bare without any shields, transcending the physical realm. Vulnerability. His fingers glided along the contour of my face, brushing my cheeks gently before pausing at my chin as I lifted my face. His gaze ensnared mine, and in that fleeting moment an unspoken bond surged between us, liberating us from all constraints. He leaned in once more and, from astonishment to collective insight, our lips collided in a fervent embrace. This time, the kiss unfolded with a languid intensity, each moment stretching into eternity. suffused with a deep tenderness that stirred waves of yearning. His hands glided down my shoulders, each caress imbued with intent, leaving me utterly defenseless against the sensations coursing through my chest. The shivers coursed through my body beneath his touch, as if he could perceive every emotion flowing within me. His gentle response enveloped me in a wave of overwhelming sensation, the air thick with unspoken emotions. Between us pulsed with warmth, infused with an enchanting energy that vibrated in the air surrounding us. We moved with slow, purposeful grace. Each step becomes a careful brushstroke on the canvas of time, determined to carve every fleeting moment. In that fleeting instant, we delved into the depths of our minds, utterly intertwined in a flawless harmony where everything felt authentic and vibrant. His warmth surrounded me, a soothing embrace that carved itself into my essence, a memory I would cherish for all eternity. He was an open book, boundless and free. We lay side by side wrapped in a deep stillness, one that resonated with unvoiced thoughts and whispered confidences, a stillness that echoed with a profoundness surpassing mere words. Language. His hand rested on my waist, a soft pressure that stood in stark contrast to a tempest of ideas whirling through my consciousness while I stared at the ceiling, wrestling with the tumult of recent events. Left my mind in a labyrinth, thoughts spiraling and ensnared in confusion. Within a tapestry of existence, the profound meanings hidden beneath the surface emerge in that ephemeral instant of remorse and humiliation. Were mere shadows, overshadowed by the warmth and tranquility he effortlessly infused into my existence. I turned my head, fixing my gaze upon him. I remained transfixed by his expression. Growth emerges from challenging times. He was calm, yet when his eyes met mine, they unveiled a profound depth of emotion that his face dared not reveal. I understand, he murmured, his voice low and knowing, as if he had already unraveled the depths of every thought I held. A deep longing to convey a sense of understanding enveloped me. Perhaps it was a misdirection. Yet he allowed the words to linger, and it seemed superfluous to pursue every unvoiced thought that hung in the atmosphere, intricately woven into the essence of our movements, the electric caress of our touches, and the depth of our gazes that conveyed unspoken narratives. Softly spoken words, what comes next? I murmured, my gaze steadfastly locked on. His gaze softened, and a faint smile played upon his lips as he leaned in closer. His fingers wove gently through my hair, and we would carry on with our lives as we always had. Yet now there existed a profound truth. Remains in our hearts. As I nodded, the gravity of his words settling within me, resonating deep within me. This moment belonged solely to us, a treasure we would hold close forever, unspoken. The events of this night would linger as a secret, hidden deep within the shadows, yet the burden of it would endure eternally. Linger in my soul, it had intricately woven itself into the very fabric of my being. He drew. I settled in, resting my head against his shoulder, feeling the warmth that flowed between us, the steady rhythm of his. The heartbeat wrapped around me like a warm embrace, and even with the multitude of unanswered questions hovering in the depths of shadows, a singular truth illuminated my thoughts. This was the moment we had long anticipated, the whispers of our concealed reality echoing around us. And nothing could ever separate us. The air around us crackled with an energy that was both mysterious and an unbreakable connection intertwining our souls in a manner that language fails to convey. A profound tie that intensified with each breath we took. The silence had transformed, no longer a weight pressing down but a canvas of anticipation. It had become a silent, an observer of secrets that lingered eternally out of reach for others. His hand glided gently along my waist, contemplating the essence of significance. A gentle vow that this was not simply a product of our dreams but a vibrant truth we had both chosen to welcome. Studying his face closely, I searched for the reassurance that he mirrored my emotions. I found it in the subtle contours of his features. Etched around his eyes, the slight upward curve of his lips formed a serene understanding smile. Do you feel the weight of your choices? I breathed the words, my voice trembling as I grappled with the challenge of articulating the question that hung heavy in the air. His gaze locked onto mine, brimming with a conviction that I could only dream of possessing. What if regret lingered, a shadow haunting every decision made? What if it whispered, in the stillness, echoing the roads not traveled, the phrases left unsaid? The weight of those moments could crush the spirit, leaving only echoes of what could have been in the depths of night when the world remains, as the heart grapples with the specters of decisions made, longing for what once was, for an opportunity to reshape the narrative. Absolutely not, Alina, not for what is truly at stake. His words erased the last traces of doubt. We never discussed what awaited us, nor did we devise any plans. Yet, deep within, I grasped that this moment would be forever imprinted in our memories. As I closed my eyes, his breath intertwined with mine, and the very fabric of the world around us began to transform. Silence enveloped the space. Gentler, despite the shadows that loomed over the journey ahead, one undeniable truth lingered in the air: this moment. For hours on end, he was alone, his fingers tracing the gentle curve of my waist, ignited a warmth that pulsed through every fiber of my being. His breath brushed against my skin, a sensation that anchored me to the now, a bond so profound it seemed as though we were intertwined into one distinct unit.